What's up, everybody? JT Sports. I'm back to you guys with another 2019 NFL Draft Theories video. And in this Draft Theories video, I'm going to be talking about how the first five picks of this year's NFL Draft is already locked in. And if I was a betting man, I would pretty much 100% bet on these next five picks that I'm about to elaborate will happen, or most likely 99.9% will happen. So, before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL videos and content. And let's get into it. So, number one overall, already did a video about this. The Arizona Cardinals are taking quarterback Kyler Murray, the former Heisman Trophy winner from this past college football season, out of the University of Oklahoma. The Arizona Cardinals are picking him number one overall. Now, for everybody that thinks that this is all smoke screen, that they're not going to trade away Josh Rosen, that they're just going to go ahead and draft Nick Bosa, I think that could be a reasonable explanation, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead and trade away Josh Rosen because, look, if you aren't going to trade away a guy, you would just come out and publicly say that Josh Rosen is our guy, he's our franchise quarterback, we're not trading him away. That's what most general managers do. We had the general manager for the Oakland Raiders say that the Oakland Raiders are not going to trade away Derek Carr. John Gruden said the same thing, even though I don't know how much you can trust John Gruden's word after all the trades that he has did, but back to the Arizona Cardinals. They already received second-round compensation for Josh Rosen, but they're not trading him. And the reason why they're not going to trade him and they're going to wait for the draft to trade him is because you're going to get more compensation. Now, a lot of people feel like if this is actually true, that they are going to trade away Josh Rosen and draft Kyler Murray, that they already would have traded away Josh Rosen. And although that does make sense, it would make more sense to just go ahead and draft Kyler Murray number one overall, and then you wait for all the good quarterbacks on the draft board and the first round of the draft to all go. Let's say, hypothetically, Dwayne Haskins gets taken by the New York Giants at number 6. Then Drew Lock gets drafted by the Denver Broncos at number 10. And then Daniel Jones gets drafted by the Miami Dolphins or the Washington Redskins at 13th overall or 15th overall. So the best quarterbacks in this year's draft are off the board. Now, whichever team is looking for a quarterback to draft, probably at this point the quarterback of the future, you have to decide between Will Grier or Josh Rosen. Now, Will Grier is a little bit of a wild card. Before, he had a great pro day. His Senior Bowl was pretty solid. He had a pretty good combine. But is that enough to sell you on using a first-round pick on Will Grier? So you have Josh Rosen and you have Will Grier. So a team that isn't really sold on Will Grier, that pretty much views him as a second-round prospect or a second-round draft pick, they could just go ahead and offer up their first-round pick for Josh Rosen. Now, this works because instead of trading him beforehand and just going ahead and accepting that second-round compensation, you'll go ahead and wait for the draft for a team to get desperate, maybe start panicking and start pressing, really thinking that they need a franchise quarterback of the future, so they can just go ahead and give up that first round pick for Josh Rosen. And that pretty much, in my opinion, would be the most logical thing for the Arizona Cardinals to do. And I'm pretty much sure that it pretty much 70% will turn up that way, that they end up trading Josh Rosen on the day of the NFL draft. Now, for the second overall pick, San Francisco 49ers, they're most definitely taking Nick Bosa. I mean, how can you not take Nick Bosa? I mean, he's probably one of the best pass rushers in this draft, if not the best pass rusher in this draft. Now, I don't believe that he is the best defensive player of this draft. I believe Josh Allen is, just for the fact that Josh Allen is more versatile in the things that he's able to do. But Nick Bosa is the best pass rusher in this draft. I mean, everything that he does when it comes to rushing the passer is just natural, has good burst off the line. I mean, great with his hands. He's a game wrecker, very, very dominant. I mean, how can you pass up on a guy like Nick Bosa? And I know that the San Francisco 49ers did pick up Dee Ford in free agency, or they traded for him for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they ended up renegotiating his contract. But the way that his contract is set up, it's set up very, very perfectly. The general manager John Lynch for the San Francisco 49ers did an absolutely great job, and the whole 49ers organization is setting up Dee Ford's contract. Now, the 49ers got Dee Ford on what amounts to be a one-year deal. If he balls out in 2019, they keep him, and they play out, he plays, and they end up paying him the rest of his contract until it ends up expiring. Or if he struggles like how he did in 2015 and 2017, they can end up letting him walk. Now, another thing that I saw when I was looking up research for this video, that the San Francisco 49ers are making changes to their defense and a lot of personnel and formation stuff like that. Now, the defensive line coach, their new defensive line coach, plans to use more of a wide non-alignment up front, which means that they're kicking the edge rushers out wide than they would be in a 4-3 under a base defense like how they did last season. Now, the new defensive line coach, he was the coach of the Miami Dolphins last year. He used this similar scheme with the Miami Dolphins when he used Cameron Wake and Robert Quinn. And he really likes athletic players coming off the corner. And that's what Nick Bosa is. This guy's the athletic freak. He's very fast, very quick, very strong, and good with his hands. And I believe that this, even if they do believe in Dee Ford and they feel that he's going to be pretty good, I believe that Nick Bosa would pretty much be the no-brainer pick at this point of the draft right here, second overall. I mean, he's just an ideal fit for this new system or scheme that San Francisco 49ers are looking to run for their new defense in 2019. So, third overall, have the New York Jets taking Josh Allen. I'm pretty much sure, other than Kyler Murray being taken number one overall, if I had to bet on another player getting taken in the top 5, I had to bet $1,000. I would bet $1,000 that the New York Jets are going to draft Josh Allen if they don't trade away the third overall pick. Now, Anthony Barr, the New York Jets thought they had Anthony Barr, but he ended up doubling back and ended up going back to the Minnesota Vikings. Josh Allen is a more athletic version of Anthony Barr. And I'm going to say it, I've been saying this in every single video that I have brought up Josh Allen is, he's not Khalil Mack, but he will be the closest thing that we will ever see to Khalil Mack in the NFL draft. Now, a lot of people have been comparing him to Lawrence Taylor. I think that would be a fair comparison, but I'm not going to say that because I think that's a little bit disrespectful to compare an unproven player to an NFL Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. So I'm not going to do that. But he does show a lot of similar characteristics to Lawrence Taylor and his ability to completely wreck a game and change the whole entire complexity of the game and stuff like that. I mean, this guy had 4 sacks all by himself against South Carolina. He dominated the Florida Gators in the fourth quarter of that Florida and Kentucky game. And the New York Jets, now, I don't know if they're going to end up doing this or not, but they have been rumored to end up going into a 3-4 defense or 3-4 scheme. And with Josh Allen, he would immediately make a big impact if they are indeed switching to a 3-4 defense. You plug in Josh Allen there and let him do havoc. And he's a very, very aggressive linebacker and a playmaker linebacker. And that's what the New York Jets are looking for. They're looking for a linebacker who can get after the pass, get after the quarterback, get after a guy like Tom Brady, and, get him down on the ground, which is something that nobody in that division is able to do, despite how old Tom Brady is. He just moves around that pocket like a magician, and nobody is actually able to bring him down. So Josh Allen could be that guy who can actually give the New York Jets a solid pass rusher coming off the edge. And they've been looking for not just a pass rusher. They have been looking for a guy who can just completely change the game. They've been looking for a game changer. Now, last year, they were heavily brought up in the Khalil Mack trade rumors. They ended up not getting Khalil Mack. The Chicago Bears ended up getting Khalil Mack. But they were in that conversation till the very end. And Josh Allen, he's the closest thing to Khalil Mack, and he will fit if the New York Jets do indeed end up going with a 3-4 defense. He would be a perfect fit, and he would be that aggressive attacking pass rusher linebacker that they have been looking for in that game changer. And also pair him up with Leonard Williams and Jamal Adams. That defense will be pretty good because they're going to have 3 good playmakers that can all change the game. So, fourth overall, I have the Oakland Raiders taking defensive tackle Quentin Williams. Now, the Oakland Raiders, they've been working out quarterbacks. They worked out Dwayne Haskins and Kyler Murray. I believe that this is all smokescreen because if I didn't say this, I'm going to say it again. The New York Jets have entertained the thought of trading the third overall pick. Their general manager has said that the third overall pick is up for sale for the right price. So, the Oakland Raiders, they're pretty much creating a smokescreen to make teams start panicking who really want to take the quarterback, maybe a Dwayne Haskins at this point, or Drew Lock. So maybe the Oakland Raiders are creating a smokescreen to make a team force them to trade up with the New York Jets for that third overall pick and end up taking that quarterback that they really want. So the Oakland Raiders can end up taking defensive tackle Quentin Williams out of the University of Alabama. Now, also, I wouldn't be surprised if the New York Jets ended up taking Quentin Williams as well, but I strongly believe that they will take Josh Allen. Now, the Oakland Raiders, they really want Quentin Williams. They've been interested in Ed Oliver as well, but I believe Quentin Williams is the better player than Ed Oliver. And the Oakland Raiders, they're looking for a rebuild on that defensive side of the ball. Now, a lot of people felt around the NFL Combine, after the NFL Combine, that they were going to end up taking Devin White, the linebacker, out of LSU. But since they've already have filled their linebacker needs in free agency, they did pick up Brandon Marshall, the former middle linebacker for the Denver Broncos. And they got Vontaze Burfict and free agency as well from the Cincinnati Bengals. So the linebacking position is no longer a need for the Oakland Raiders. So the next thing they will need to do is pick up defensive tackle Quentin Williams from the University of Alabama. Now, I know some Oakland Raider fans are going to be like, we already have guys on that defensive line position up front. But, I mean, you can't pass up on a guy like Quentin Williams. And the other guys that they have, they can just put them at nose tackle or however they want to put those guys. The Oakland Raiders shouldn't pass up on a guy like Quentin Williams. And it's been in a lot of reports and a lot of rumors from all over the internet. Just look up Quentin Williams to the Oakland Raiders. You're going to see a bunch of stories and stuff like that, how interested the Oakland Raiders are in taking Quentin Williams. So I believe they're pretty much going to take Quentin Williams 4th overall. Now, the last top 5 pick of this year's draft, I believe that Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just going to go ahead and they're going to select linebacker Devin White because Quan Alexander walked away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in free agency. They really need to fill that hole at that defensive or that linebacker position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of people also felt that they could have went defensive tackle with a guy like Quentin Williams if he does fall to them, or they could take an edge rusher or Montez Sweat. But I believe Devin White would pretty much be the more solid option for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since the linebacker position is pretty much the bigger need for them. They also need to fill up that secondary, but there's really no corners or safety that you can legit say are top 5 worthy. Now, they did have a chance to select Darren James, but, they end up passing on him for Vita Vea, I believe, and he missed a lot of time this season due to injuries. So they can just go ahead and select Devin White with that 5th overall pick, solidify that linebacking position. He should be I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl caliber player. He reminds me a lot of Roquan Smith, sideline to sideline, very athletic, very fast, good tackler in open space. He can also drop back in coverage, pretty good in guarding tight ends and whatnot. So Devin White will pretty much is a no-brainer to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if he's available with the 5th overall pick. And that's it for my NFL Drafts Theories video. For the top 5 picks already being locked in, you guys let me know what you guys think about this theory down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. And thanks for watching.